She pull up, hop out, then she swerve. Do your two-step, your little catwalk, make it work. Make it work, deal dance, make it work, strike a pose. Make it work, deal dance, make it work, strike a pose. I pull up, hop out, then I swerve. Do my two-step, my little catwalk, make it work. Make it work, deal dance, make it work, strike a pose. Make it work, deal dance, make it work, strike a pose. Girl dance, girl dance, girl dance, girl dance. Is it me and you, or is you with your friends, girl? Is it you and them, or is we making plans, girl? Double up the coupe size and the bands, girl. She a tenor, better tell her strike a pose. She don't switch positions and she plays the role. Hit up the salon, she gets the nails and toes. Hair done, neck, wrist, hands froze. She pull up, hop out, then she swerve. Do your two-step, your little catwalk, make it work. Make it work, deal dance, make it work, strike a pose. Make it work, deal dance, make it work, strike a pose. I pull up, hop out, then I swerve. Do my two-step, my little catwalk, make it work. Make it work, deal dance, make it work, strike a pose. Make it All right. What is going on, people? Hold on. That's never happened before. Good Lord. Hold on. That's crazy. That has never happened before. All right. That is crazy. All righty. Well, we're just going to let it hang like that. All right. Let's go ahead. And since we had technical difficulties, let's talk about what's going on. Today is the 29th of March. April 1st, we start off with the Fast Start Business Boot Camp. 8 weeks of intensive how to start a business, step-by-step instruction. You can get that if you sign up for the Art of Holding. April 1st, there will be a standalone product and you would have to pay more to get it. So you want to go ahead and join the Art of Holding, the links below. All right, so let me go ahead and do a few things real quick. And we're going to get into the topic. Appreciate that. All right. Yes, disruptive mail is gone. All right, so let me go ahead and get into this and why I'm doing this. I need to go ahead and get into some stuff. And I'm going to explain to you why I'm doing this. I guess I need to start off with why I'm doing this and where I'm at. Essentially, I teach people real business principles. I don't teach people how to finesse. And I had this comment on a video that is illuminating to, I'm just going to show it to you. Let's go ahead and get into it. And I'm going to, hold on. There we go. All right. So we in there? We are in there. We are in here. All right. Money nut. When you transfer title to an LLC or a land trust, doesn't mean
the home was bought by cash. Most foreclosures you see on the market was picked up at auctions or homeowners that weren't behind on the taxes and behind on mortgage before the intent of default is scheduled for blah, 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 blah. I'm confused on how you can see this home was bought for $2.1 million if the title was in the LLC. You really didn't do your homework. First of all, I did my research on the LLC. Once again, to anyone that wants to do the research, the address is in the video. You can go to the Georgia Secretary of State. You can go to the Georgia Fulton County property and actually see that this home was sold to the LLC. It was not in the individual's name and the title wasn't transferred to the LLC. It was sold to the LLC. This is in the property records. First of all, I did my research. It was created a few weeks. Now, all the properties around here don't go in the auction block player. So this whole stuff about auction block and foreclosures. And then this is where it gets in there. Bruh, this further tells me, honestly, you don't know what you're talking about. What does a tax sale has to do? Once again, he brought that up. Why do our people just say shit to make it sound right, like they don't know what they're talking about and giving out wrong info? You're basically talking into your following, giving wrong info. Every single time you purchase a home, you create an LLC or trust a week or two before the transfer of the title. When the early blah, 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 all of this other stuff. And he goes on and on and on and on and on. Now, this house was in a foreclosure. It wasn't a tax lien. It wasn't a tax sale. It was a direct sale. Once again, you can go to the Fulton County Property Research. You could go to the Georgia Secretary of State and you can fact check me and see what I say is true. So this is my response. First and foremost, I have helped more black people start businesses and get wealth than you can ever hope for. Second, the house was not transferred to the LLC. It was bought by the LLC as the property records show. Third, this is not about the video. If you are a so-called real estate investor who's never seen real money, and in fact, I'm driving around in a Porsche and talking as an authority, triggered something in you. I've lived in this neighborhood for 12 years. It's a different reality. So you know more than me about a place you don't live. I'm not teaching people how to finesse. I'm teaching people real business principles, and I tell the truth. You speak of black folks as if they're children. I think black people are great and armed with the correct information will do great things. It's funny, you want other real estate investors to chime in. Fun fact, I got a lot of real estate investors who follow me and saw this video, and you're the only one throwing shade. Now, this is one of the reasons that I do what I do. Okay. Right now, it is thought of that the only way that a black person can be successful is through finessing, some kind of hookup, some kind of angle. And I am proof positive that ain't true. And every time, like, once again, you could go ahead, the zip code, the address of the house is 5600 Long Island Drive, zip code 30327. You could do the research yourself and you can see that this house was paid for in cash. The LLC was created mere weeks before it bought the house, which wasn't enough time to establish business credit. It was paid for cash. The house was trashed, so there was no renter in there paying the note. Someone took $2.2 million and invested in property, and we're going to talk about how real money gets down versus finessing some kind of hookup or some kind of angle. One of the big things that I'm trying to do, let's see, hold on, what's going on? I'm actually going to do the same thing, Dark Side. I'm going to use corporate debt to buy real estate. I'm not going to use personal debt. So essentially, one of the things that has happened, and has happened many, many times on this channel, is when you see me living the way that I do, talking the way that I do, it will trigger other black people. I don't get this from white people. I don't get this from Asian people. I don't get this from Hispanic people. I get this from black folks because there's a lot of self-loathing in the black community. Like, I'm here to tell you, like right now, I have a company, I've been making money, but I don't have business credit the way that I want business credit. My business credit is about 6, 7 months old, and I'm on a 2-year journey to get my business credit up to $2 to $3 million. Why do I show the receipts? Why do I show the ATM receipts? Why do I show you receipts? Because so many people on the internet are lying to you. I'm going to say a name, Rich Wayne and this Age Corporation BS. It doesn't work. You know, I've got 5 people who have emailed me who went out and bought Age Corporations, and now they're out their money and they're stuck because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I pay cash earlier, and that guy's mad with you because you're speaking thinks beyond that investor. And, you know, let me go ahead and shout out to the real estate community on YouTube. Most of these guys are not making money. Most of these guys, like, all right, I'm going to say this, and if I start a YouTube beef, I don't care. Meet Kevin, Graham Steffens, whatever. I would not listen to their advice for real estate because they make so much money from YouTube that they can easily pay retail prices for real estate. I don't consider those guys real estate investors. I really don't. They've not had to scrounge or scrunch up for debts like Manny Korshman. He's got all these supercars. I consider him a real estate investor because Manny uses his own money. He does deals and he flips deals. And Manny has to find profitable deals to make money. But Graham Stephan, Meet Kevin, and a lot of these other people, I don't really consider real estate investors. And also, going on this thing with real estate investors. Now, I'm about to say something that's going to step on a lot of toes. If you've been in real estate for 10, 15 years, but you still don't have enough money to float your own deals, why aren't you floating your own deals? Like, one of the things that I'm giving people, like, I don't spend a lot of money. I make a lot of money and I'm stacking this money so I put myself in the position to do my own deal. Essentially, a lot of these real estate investors, so-called real estate investors on YouTube, are just a little bit better off than the average people watching them. They've never signed a $100,000 cashier's check. I agree. Problem is, most investors don't even make their initial principal back. And that is one of the reasons that I have gone to, like, let me go ahead and explain what I want to do. I want to buy an apartment complex because I'm going to, on the corporate side, I'm going to become an investor and I'm going to use debt. I think using corporate debt, business debt, other people's money to make money is smart. Financing a car in your personal name is dumb. Financing certain vacations is dumb. Financing these things is dumb. Once again, on the personal side, I have no personal debt. But on the corporate side, right now, I've got the $150,000 EIDL loan. I've got the Stripe loan and a PayPal loan. So I'm about $225,000 in corporate debt. In 4 years, I'm going to probably be $10 million in corporate debt. And I don't care because essentially the OPP argument makes a lot of sense when you're doing it from a corporate standpoint. But all this stuff in your personal name, I'm not with that. And this is not something that I'm going to teach. And this individual, he got mad because, once again, the information for you to find out if I'm telling the truth is in the video. The address of the properties in the video, you can go to the Fulton County Property Records and literally see that this house was sold from the grantor to the LLC. It was not transferred from someone to the LLC. It was sold to the LLC. In 2000, there was one transfer in 2015, 14, 15, I forget. One transfer, not two. It would have taken two transfers for someone to buy the house and to finance it and then transfer it to an LLC. That would have been two transfers. There's only one transfer. And once again, this individual could have watched the video and was like, I think this guy's full of crap. Let me do some research. He did not check the property records. He did not check the Georgia Secretary of State to see when the LLC was formed. He didn't do none of that. He just started throwing rocks at the screen, right? And, this whole thing of, as a black YouTuber, you have it rough because so many black people don't believe in themselves. And this is one of the biggest barriers out there because we can do good things. We can do great things. We can be like, I'm about to say something that's going to be very controversial. It's going to trigger people. I'm probably going to get some comments. I get treated like a white man. When I went to the Porsche dealership, did they ignore me? Nope. Hello, how are you doing? What are you looking for? When I bought the BMW, same thing. When I go to a restaurant, hey, how you doing? Come on in, have a seat. I am treated well. When I go to the bank, hey, how you doing? Your accounts look great. If there's anything we can do for you. I am treated well. That is my expectation, that when I enter into a business place, that I enter into a business type of deal, I go to the bank for a loan, I'm going to be treated well because that's been my reality and been my experience. I don't feel because I am black that I'm going to be mistreated. And that has been my experience the 12 years I've lived out here. I've received great service. I've received like this house, the people I got this house from, nothing but respect. Nothing but respect. And this self-loathing, and the only way that we can get something is through hood hookup culture, finessing, I think is fundamentally false. Okay, business. Why are people always upset with you? You're telling the truth. That's why. If you were talking about black women, they would love you. Kevin Samuels, proof positive. K's Business Podcast. All right, one of the things that I've avoided, and I'm going to continue to avoid, is talking about culture and dating. Because right now there's this crazy thing that's going on about Derek Jackson. It is literally people are making memes and stuff. And essentially, I want to keep this on a business level, not 100% professional, because I'm not a professional. But I want, as part of the focus, as part of changing the culture, changing the narrative, I refuse to comment or bring up certain topics on the YouTube channel. And I'm going to keep it that way because I want to keep it on a business perspective. And this is one of the reasons that Disruptive Male had to go bye-bye, because that wasn't in alignment with my future goals. Research equals thinking, and people don't like to think. Essentially, the information is in the video where you can fact check me. The address is in the video. It's just literally 5 minutes of research. But this guy wanted to go on and on and on. You don't know what you're talking about. You're giving your followers the wrong information. Really? How am I giving you the wrong information? Let's go ahead and take this. So if you're in the position to pay cash for a house and sit on it for 5 years and pay $2.2 million on the house and sit on it, that means you got more than $2.2 million. That means you are a big dog investor. Like I said, a lot of these realists subject to, and I'm about to be I'm about to speak my mind on this. Wholesaling is not real estate investing. Wholesaling is not real estate investing. It is a tactic in the real estate world to make money, but it's not investing in real estate. It's not. Having real cash money makes a lot of people real mad. Apparently so, man. I get so much pushback. Essentially, what I want to do is put more black people in the position to be well qualified that when they go for their mortgage, it's a yes. When they go for that credit card, it's a yes. When they go for their business loan, it's a yes. I know before I apply for anything if I'm going to get it or not. Why? Because I do my research. Right now, there are data points all over the internet on virtually any credit card out there, unless it's brand new, on what credit score you will need, what credit limit you will get based upon your credit score. You can do the research and know if you're going to get this credit card or not before you even apply. And this is what I want to do. From South Africa, in fact, with the black people. So, I mean, because essentially there is this narrative that the only way a black person can get ahead is through hookups, finessing, selling drugs, crime. This is a narrative. This is a real narrative, because there was some other comments, and I didn't want to spend too much time on it, when he was talking about this is how you can get a house with a little credit and a little money. The vernacular told me a lot about this individual. And going back to Merlani Kamai, I guarantee you this person has never seen $100,000 on a cashier's check. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. And essentially, I want to teach people to be great in spite of themselves. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You don't have to finesse. You don't have to keep it hood. You know, for the culture. For the culture. Really? That's some bullshit. That is some bullshit. Really. The content, yeah, I'm keeping it on business, man. I'm keeping it on business. Problem is, many will never send 10K cash because they can't save. I agree with that. I saw a video you made. People called you out because you purchased 2 cars cash down. That's the mindset of a lot of people out here. Okay, I know. And also, that's a little jealousy because they can't do it. That's the real motivation. It's like, he's black like me, but he's paying cash for cars and he's showing receipts. Nah, we got to call him out. We got to call him out. We got to talk about him. Oh, I know exactly what video. And these folks who, like, in my garage right there, those 2 cars, that is a greater net worth than both these 2 individuals have combined. Every time you turn on, they come at beats, they get madder and madder. I mean, I'm pushing people to be great. I'm pushing people to start businesses the right way. This is one of the reasons I changed the name of the channel, because I haven't really been talking about, I think hustling has a place. In the beginning, you know, you got to hustle. It has a place, but at some point you got to do the real thing. You got to do the real thing. And like these real estate investors, I'm about to start talking about them, because this is what I know about business. If you have a successful business and you have good money management habits, this is key. Short Change just put in a very key point that most people won't send 10,000 because they can't save. If you have a real estate business and you're making, like, let's say 250 net profit, and you do that your first year, and then the next year you do 350 net profit, and the next year you do like 450. In 3 years, you've made $1 million. At the 5 or 6 year mark, you should have enough money to float your own deals. And I don't see that in the YouTube community. I see buy, rehab, refinance, repurchase, And essentially, there's one guy on YouTube. He and his wife have maxed out all the loans that they can get, because I think you can only get 5 loans per person, depending upon, you know, and this is one of the reasons, and I got to do it so I can show it. This is why I'm going to get my business credit up to 3 million. I'm going to do business deals, not all this personal stuff. Thank you. Thank you. You can never have what you hate. This is pretty much true. That's their downfall. They hate you because they ain't you, man. I like the Porsche. I'm probably going to get another one. What's going on? Just read the Willie Lynch letter. The techniques from the letter are alive and well. Could be, man. Could be. Because essentially, I am being told that I'm putting out wrong information. Like, once again, zip code 30327 is very, very special. There's a lot of wealth here, and there's a lot of people, because these houses are not going to the auction block. They're not being foreclosed on. This house this part of this video was built in 1952, and based upon my research, no one's lived in that house for about 20 years. That house has been empty for 2 decades. And someone has been paying the property taxes and keeping the property up on the outside. Some vandals got in and did some damage, but other than that, this house ain't gonna never hit the auction block. This house is never gonna hit the auction block. And once again, it is a different reality. Like, my neighbors next door paid cash for their house. And we were having a conversation. They talked about their CPA was like, a lot of people don't do that. And I said, a lot of people can't do that. Because I had a comment about financing, and it's like, you speak about, I was like, all right, there are very few people who are in the option, they have the option to pay cash or finance. The reason that most people are financing, my estimation, my opinion, is they have to. It ain't like they got, I'm going to pull from my 10 million and pay cash, or I'm going to use other people. No. It ain't that many people in that position to begin with. So the majority of people, including these, I'm a millionaire people who are financing cars because they have to. They don't have no cash. Thank you, K Business Podcast. And essentially, I've been paying cash for cars before I became a millionaire. So this is something else that I start to do in the comments. Are you talking from woulda, shoulda, coulda, or it's possible, or are you talking from personal experience? And typically when I nail it down like that, the conversation changes, because I want people to talk about what they're doing, not what is possible. And like this whole, that whole thing, you could get a house with a little credit and a little money. Man, at what point amount in a person's net worth should they diversify into different asset classes to minimize risk? Darren Brown, that is a really hard question to answer, because it depends upon the person. It depends upon their risk tolerance. It depends upon how much money. There's a lot of stuff that goes into answering that question. But I would, like right now, many people would feel that I am living risky. I don't have any assets other than my business. Well, my business, the house, the cars. I'm not invested in anything other than my business. And for many people, that's risky. It's been working out really well for me for the last 12 years. It's been working out great. So here's how I look at it. I look at it upon who I am and what I want to do with my life. And 4 years, I'll be 58 years old. And I want to give myself the option, probably not going to do it, but I want to give myself the option if I want to say, you know what, I'm going to retire. I ain't going to do nothing. Buy me this one apartment, just one apartment complex. And after servicing debt, paying taxes and expenses, this property should cash flow at a $500,000 per year, which is not what I make right now. But at that level, I can maintain this lifestyle very easily. Because see, my goal is when I retire, I'm going to be like 70 years old driving the Porsche. My lifestyle is not going to take a big downgrade. If anything, it's going to be upgraded because I will have a lot of freedom. Martin, a lot of people not only have a problem with the mindset to make and sustain a business, also a problem being around toxic friends, family, and learning to say no. Wow. Yes, personal experience. Personal experience. That's why Big Mitch was so popular. He had money and they saw it and he blew it fast. Big Meech blowing money fast. I remember that. That video is still up. I haven't taken it down. Even Beat the Bush says he's worth 1.6 million, but only has 250K liquid in cash. Short change. Beat the Bush has more cash than most of these so-called millionaires. The majority of them don't even have six figures in cash. They don't. Yes, I'm very familiar with real estate and syndication. Someone asked me if I was going to, if I wanted to buy that $10 million apartment complex, I could leverage this channel and say, hey, I'm putting together a syndication. I need X amount of dollars from every person, and we're going to buy a $10 million apartment complex. Now, I don't like that because essentially, because I put it together, I can get a 1% management fee and I can get some other fees, but it still will not be the kind of money that I want from a passive income standpoint. So I'm going to work hard for the next 4 years, stack that cheddar, and then buy an apartment complex by my damn self. Hey, Omar, what's up? Man, I'm telling you, essentially, when you don't have car payments and credit card payments and stuff like that, little money goes a long way. Little money goes a long way. Well, you're going to have to research the marketplace for workers' comp. Glendon, I agree with you. Starting a small business over investing. I've been in the investing straight through because I made six figures from 20 through, soon looking into YouTube and other things. Yeah, because essentially, if you're in the danger zone, danger zone number one, 50,000 and less, you don't have enough money to be invested. I heard Erica Williams said she invests $1,000 a week. That's $52,000 a year. That's $52,000 a year. That is more money invested than 70% of the country makes. And that's what she's investing. I heard her say it on one of her videos. She invests $1,000 a week. That's investing. 200 a month, 300 a month. That's not really investing. Well, once again, if you're in danger zone number 3 and you're making 150, 200K, investing can work for you because you have enough income to put 50,000 a year in investments. It's the math. The best investors are the people with the biggest incomes. Syndication, the Grant Cardone way. Yeah, Grant is doing things on a very different level because Grant has a lot of his own money in his deals. Do you know Grant's education company makes like 150 million a year? So he has a lot of money to put into his own deals. I don't know, man. Investing on minimum wage, that's cracking me up. All right. All right, Donnie. I agree. Yeah, because essentially, I don't want to do a syndication deal. Like, I could probably do a syndication deal in the next 18 months, secure a property. But, let's say it was a $10 million property and I had let's say, how many investors? Let's see, 10 million divided by 1,000 investors. So if I have 1,000 investors who put $10,000 in, That would seriously dilute what I get. I would make money from managing the deal, but I would make more money if I just take the discipline to save the money and put it into the deal by myself. All right. Yep. Well, syndication deals they can be lucrative because Grant Cardone, he has a team, he has an infrastructure, he has a lot of people helping him do that. I would have to build something like that. And frankly, at this point in my life, I'm not interested in that. I'm just not interested in that. But, it is funny how many people come for me and, like people actually created a video calling me out for paying cash for 2 cars. Calling me out when they personally don't have the money that I put in those 2 cars as a total net worth. But I'm somehow wrong because I'm like buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin can get banned. It's very interesting what will happen if that happens. All right. Because essentially, a lot of people are these real estate investors. They're doing subject to because they don't have the money. They're doing wholesaling because they don't have the money. They're doing this creative financing because they don't have the money. In many cases, they don't have the money and they don't have the credit. And here's the thing with real estate. And this is why I want to go from a commercial standpoint. As a person, you can only have so many mortgages in your name. As a person. Donnie Brasco, you need to figure out who you want to make videos for. That's the first thing you need to do. I don't know about the jewelry business. The jewelry business can be very lucrative, but I don't really know a lot about that. The smartest thing to do is to buy your car cash because you save a ton of money by not financing it. Absolutely. That's the cheapest you're going to get that. That's the cheapest you're going to get that. Man, the wholesalers and the infinite bankers like infinite banking, velocity banking, wholesaling, all of these things say one thing. I don't have no money. I don't have no money, man. I don't have no money. That's what they're saying. Insurance is cheaper. Well, it depends upon the car. My insurance is a grip. My insurance is a grip. Think about 6 or 7 per person. I'm not going to do the syndication thing because essentially I would have to probably get 10,000 people to invest and build $100 million portfolio for me to make the same money that I would make with a $10 million complex by myself. Short change, I actually, that's very interesting you bring that up. I was doing some research, and if you have 0.28 Bitcoin, not full Bitcoin, just 0.28, you have more Bitcoin than 90% of the world. 90%. You can sell anything if you have a following. This is true. I mean, I could put together, but the syndication thing is just not attractive to me at this moment. Maybe if I did some research. Staff and agency, once again, it depends. Does that fit into your alignment of who you are as a person? Is that something you like to do? Alex G, you got to have like a 750 credit score to get a 0% auto loan. And most folks don't have that. Now, I was doing something. The average credit score is now 711. The average credit score is 711. For years, it was like 6 something, but now it's gone up. It can be. To me, the syndication is a big headache. Like I said, Grant Cardone, he has a following. He has people. Well, essentially what Biden wants to do is shorten the time where you have bad credit from 7 years to 4 years. That's, we will see. We will see. But essentially, it's funny. There are more rules that cost more if you don't have accredited investors. Better to go with less people. Like I said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to work hard for the next 4 years, build my business, save the cash, and buy it by myself. That's the plan. What? Junie, I remember the first time I applied for a car loan, my dad was a little consigned. We got denied. Really? That's crazy. 810, he got denied? That's strange. But once again, with credit, let me go ahead and tell you with my business credit journey. I gave Wells Fargo $25,000. Once again, cash, like other people, I wouldn't do that. I could take that $25 and put it over here and earn like an extra $100. I'm not worried about $100. I'm not worried about $200. I'm not even worried about $1,000 because my attitude is influenced by the fact that I have a financial device that makes a lot of cash every month. So I'm not sitting here sweating dimes and nickels. It's just for me, and I'll speak for myself. My perspective is different. I would not if I went out and bought a house and I made like $4,000 a month, $50,000 a year. That's decent money, but when I look at an investment, I look at all right, let's go ahead and talk about why a business is the best investment ever. Yeah. Credit profile, we'll talk about that. $10,000 people, you wouldn't. Like I said, I'm not going to do it. This is why it's my goal to do this by myself. You got 10x tattoos. The thing, those who are commenting on your spending fail to realize you aren't playing the same game, so the rules don't make sense to them. Yasa Rose learning, I would say that's 100% because that's why I want to create more corporate citizens. That's why I want to create more corporate citizens because they can't relate. They can't understand. They don't know what I'm doing because they're not playing the same game. And this is one of the things because that was a planned purchase. I went by the Porsche dealership in 2017. I could have bought it in 2017, but I would have felt it. I bought it in 2020. I didn't feel it because I had that money back in 30 days. So I didn't feel it. In 2017, I would have let that money go. It would have taken me 7 months to get it back. I would have felt it. So once my cash flow got to a certain level, and that's why I spent that way. And let's be clear, this isn't something I do every month. I don't do this all the time. And it was I remember 2017, I was driving by the dealership. I saw this turquoise blue 911. I was like, oh, that's sweet. And I rolled over there and I looked at it and I said to myself, I'm getting me one of these. And that's when the goal was set. Once again, let's look at the path. 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. I did not make that purchase until I increased my business income. See, I don't just go out and get stuff. Like once again, with the apartment complex, I got to increase my business income to get that apartment complex. I'm not trying to finesse I'm not trying to finesse it. I'm trying to put myself in the proper position to be well capitalized to do the deal. That's how I get down. Man, if I spent cash, I really don't spend a lot of cash. I use the credit card most of the time. Yes, Auntie, that was an excellent comment. You should set up, if you're doing Ubers, as an LLC, not a C Corp. Yeah, an S Corp if you have enough income. Chilling with Big Booty Betty, Big Booty Tasha. I mean, essentially, I want you to think, and like this clown right here that I'm talking about today. Thank you. This clown talking about, I didn't know what I was talking about. I love how people will tell me about my neighborhood and attributes of my neighborhood when they don't live here. I love hearing from people who don't live here. Like my neighbor right there, we've become friends. They moved in. They paid cash for their house. Cash for their house. And they had another house, which they told me that they paid off in 7 years. So they paid cash for this house, then sold that other house. And guess what? The money that they paid for this house got replenished. They were dealing with a lot of money. Piranhas and gophies have different diets. Hey. Yep. Purple grass. That's hilarious. But, essentially, one of the things that is happening, because I'm going to keep on with my message because this is the only way I know how to do it. But right now, it's getting back to me that a lot of people are commenting on these crypto, because I think one of the reasons that video was made about me and my purchases was that I'm getting people to think about crypto. Like, once again, this is the thesis. If you're in income danger zone number 1, 50,000 and below, you're better off by creating a small business that makes $1,500, which is $375 per week, which is in the ability of the average person, than investing, whether it's crypto or stocks. That's where this is my thesis. And a lot of people are starting to push back on this. You can do it. I did a video on Savage Finance, a live stream talking about, you can become a billionaire. You could win the lottery. Yeah, this is all potentially possible. But is it likely? I don't think so. Bluegrass. That was funny. I like wholesaling. Once again, don't get me wrong. Wholesaling is a great way to make money, but wholesaling is not investing in real estate. It's not. I'm going to be talking about mindset development attitudes in the Fast Start Bootcamp, because there are so many people like this individual who commented. He can't fathom someone dropping 2.2 million cash on the house. He can't. He can't. He don't have a vision. He can't. He like, nah, man. No, nobody doing that. People in my neighborhood are doing that. I live around wealthy individuals. I live around basketball players, football players, movie stars, titans of. This is who I live around. This is who I live around. And I see this. This is my reality. And I want to bring people. I'm not trying to talk down to people with the finesse and essentially this individual, because like I can tell he's not educated based upon his verbiage, his vocabulary. Little money, little credit. That's some hood vernacular. That's some hood vernacular. And there are many people in the hood who feel that the only way that they can get some money is through some hood finesse crap. That's it. Man, that was there's an email chain that goes on. And it was noted when I was kind of rolling that I had a lot of visitors. It was noted. It was very interesting. People want big numbers to excite them. My business earns 14 to 18K per month. Does the S Corp? Absolutely. Absolutely. 14K a month. Let's go ahead and add that up. 14 times. What's your profit margin? So you're doing 168. Yes, the S Corp election, you're doing 168 to, let's see, 18,000 times 12. 216. Oh, yeah. You need to put yourself on a salary of about 30 or 40,000 per year. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense for you. Yeah, I mean, essentially, this he could not see it because I get so much pushback. Like, as someone in the comments time, they saw a video about people talking smack about me paying cash for a car. Well, no. He should have financed it. He should have financed it. You know, Rose Learning, this is one of the things that I got to work on. I got to work on the mindset because I really used to do a lot of mindset videos, and I'm about to, like, the whole first week of the boot camp is going to be about mindset. I'm going to do that because I got to put that together today. Not really talking about Craigslist. Craigslist can be a marketing arm for a lot of your business, but not really talking about Craigslist. I'm talking about businesses. Everybody's not going to make it. Some people love being average, but want millionaire results doing nothing. Man, you ain't said nothing, man. Muhammad, people confuse gross and net all day long. Over 150K. Yeah, S Corp makes sense because if you can pay yourself a salary of 30, 40,000, I mean, even at 100K, an S Corp could make sense depending on what you're doing. Fact. Being rich is hard and being poor is hard. Choose wisely. One of the things, man. Thomas Dickerson, not having a car note definitely helped me when I was purchasing my home. You can go to a mortgage calculator and you can see how much a mortgage you can afford if you pull out all your debt. It will blow your mind how much house you can afford if you have no debt. It would literally blow your mind. 21% profit margin last quarter of 2020. I run it every quarter. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead. 168 minus 89%. You might want to hold off on that because you sound like you've got a lot of expenses, Tank Johnson. Pretty much. Break free from big booty. Pretty much, Ron, there's a lot of things you can do. Yes, mindset is everything. Because this individual was comment, because the thing that got me, because I knew it was going to get personal, when it's like, you don't know what you're talking about. Actually, look at the data. Look at the property record. Look at the LLC. If you're of average intelligence, it's pretty easy to see that they paid cash because the house went straight to the LLC. The house was not transferred from an individual into the LLC's name. I know the exotic guy, car hacks. Now, here's the thing with buying exotic cars. All right. If you're in the exotic car market and you've been shopping, you will notice that these cars don't depreciate as rapidly as average cars. Like a 2014 Ferrari can still go for 200K, a 6-year-old car. Recently, and this is happening with early model air-cooled Porsches from the 90s, they're selling for 3x what they sold for new. So it really depends upon the car. It depends on what you're doing. It depends on how you buy the car. Like, the market is very dynamic. Like, I could sell my Porsche right now for more than I paid for it. Right now, there has been a run on 911s, and they're very hard to come by. And especially if they're specced out, meaning that they've got these little touches, because you can spec out a Porsche. Like, I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking about doing. I don't know if I'm going to do this, but I'm going to get my business credit to the point where I can do a business car loan, business lease, do a business lease. I don't know if I'm going to do a lease or I'm going to do a loan, because I'm probably going to do a loan because I want to actually own it. A lease is just like renting a car. It just, once again, I got to crunch the numbers, but probably get my business credit to the point where I can lease a Porsche for the YouTube channel. So I may do that and go ahead and spec it out. It just depends. Yeah, Bitcoin is really, really tricky. Essentially, you would have to get in the art of holding for that information. I did a finesse. I did a corporate citizen finesse. I did. All right, 89 Dr. Funk. Oh, okay. You're in trucking. Oh, man. Yeah, you got a lot of write-offs. I would probably not do the S Corp because you've got such high expenses, It's going to be hard for you to pay yourself a salary. What is going on? Well, first of all, the rules is if you buy a car with your LLC, the Internal Revenue Service may not allow you to deduct that car expense. The Internal Revenue has a certain, you can buy a Range Rover in your business name and take a $25,000 deduction. $25,000. And the Range Rover is going to cost you like 100 something. So that's one of the reasons that you don't see these videos, because once again, the Internal Revenue Service is a big boogeyman in that conversation, because if I was to go out and buy a 26-foot box truck, bam, that whole expense is a write-off because it's a box truck. And the only reason you're going to have a box truck is you're going to be doing business with it. So that whole expense, but for a car, it gets tricky. It gets really, really tricky. It really, really does. No, not at $200. Nope. It would not make sense. Pretty much. Yes, Ford trucks are easiest. I'm going to give you a little finesse. You can do a net 30, create a business credit profile with net 30s, get a Paydex and go to Ford Fleet. You can't go to a regular Ford, but go to Ford Fleet and roll out with a 150 to F250 or perhaps even a 350 in business credit. That's still a thing, but no one talks about that because, other than Mexicans, nobody trying to buy a truck. So essentially, we're going to be talking about this. All right, so I just wanted to put that out there because essentially they come for me because I talk about spending cash and also talk a little smackety smack back because I want you to understand Anyone that would make a video saying that it is, because essentially there's this thing called opportunity cost, right? And I've done the research. Only 10% of the country actually has a decent stock portfolio. So for the average person, it would make sense to pay cash for a car. For the average person, it would make sense for them to pay their house off as quick as possible because the average person isn't playing that game. There are definitely limits, Pody. There are definitely limits. It just depends. Depends. We'll be talking about that in the art of holding. Yep. I don't really know a lot about affiliate marketing. You know, I've heard it's a great way to make money, but I don't know a lot about it. Yep, I'm still doing it, Rustin. Yes, you can ride off a pickup truck. Pickup truck, especially like an F-250 or an F-350. Yep. Yep, you can ride off the box truck. Yep. Man. The Internal Revenue Service is the boogeyman. M-Shine, you need to get you an LLC. Yeah, because like I said, the best investors are business owners with high cash flow. Like Elon Musk. Elon Musk was able to take 1.5 billion, not of his own money, but Tesla's money, and buy Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin. You know, once again, it just really depends upon who you are. Yeah, you can go ahead and get a whole truck. The truck, you know, and especially if you're making payments, the payment should be deductible. But yeah, trucks are totally different than cars because, you know, you need a truck for use with certain people. Like 100% the box truck, the Isuzu IPR truck is 100% tax write-off. The 26-foot box truck is 100% tax write-off. But once again, as Tank Johnson has illustrated, you have crazy expenses in trucking. You can have a $10,000 breakdown. You got to pay that, get that truck fixed, so you out of business. So, you know, there's a whole lot. People like the hood finesse because they keep everything on the low. Quick money grab and go. Don't want to learn the process and systems. Troy Glover, I 100% agree with you. And that's one of the reasons I get so much pushback and I get so much attitude and I get so much disgruntlement because, like I said, the person who left that comment, you don't know what you're talking about, is so up in his feelings. It's so it's a mindset. Like, you know, the first week of the Fast Start Boot Camp, we're going to be talking about mindset because essentially right now, like I made this comment about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. This year, we had more black quarterbacks starting or backing up in the NFL than ever in history. In another 5 years, I think half of the NFL quarterbacks are going to be black. This year, we got Justin Fields, we've got Kellen Mond, we got the guy from this school out in Utah, I believe. We got a lot of people a lot of black quarterbacks who are positioned to go to the next level. And we will see. And then Alabama, we've got, what's his name? Because he didn't play. Mac Jones showed out last year. Mac Jones showed out last year. And it is funny how good a quarterback can get. Bryce Young, another black guy for Alabama. So you're going to start seeing more black quarterbacks. More black quarterbacks. The art of holding. Alex G, congratulations on owning no homes. It's a mindset, man. It's a mindset. Doing this slow and steady way is unattractive to people who can't afford it or don't have the will or wild power to increase their income and invest in themselves to learn skills. True. Coastal Designer, thanks for the $5 super chat. I guess so. The real question, Tom. I think Tom's got 2, maybe 3 more years, and he's out. Ty Reed. Well, let's look at it. What is the average NFL team? On average, each team in the NFL is worth $3.5 billion. So we need more black billionaires to be able to afford more NFL teams. So once again, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about business, creating income, creating money. The richest black man in America owns a tech company. He owns a tech company. What is his name? Let's see. All right, I'm going Oprah Winfrey. David Stewart. David Stewart is worth $3.7 billion. So if you want to buy an NFL team, you're going to need to have a net worth of about $10 billion to be in the running. All right. Black people need more money before owning the team. Actually, 100%. Probably. Oh, I'm not buying any team. Yeah, you know, essentially what black folks need to do, and once again, what you're going to see is black folks are changing and black folks are getting a different mindset. And there's probably some kid who's in high school right now, when he's 50s, 60s, is probably going to be one of the first NFL team owners because the information is getting out there. All right, y'all. I got to go work on this course. I just wanted to share this with y'all, let y'all know what I was thinking. And if you want to get into the art of holding, the link is below. You get into the art of holding, you can get the Fast Start Business Boot Camp as well. And in April, that's going to be a standalone product. And there's other things. So all the links are below. I will see you guys in the next one.